Hey y'all, I'm Aeon,
And I'm the Lioness.
and you're listening to Box number 512 podcast.
Grown Black Trans Woman Talk. Changing your world one conversation at a time.
The show begins now. Welcome to another installment of Box number 512 podcast, Grown Black Trans Woman Talk. I am Aeon.
And I'm the Lioness.
So let's start with updates. I will go first. As y'all are watching or you're listening, we definitely had to take a week off last week. It was a lot going on. In reference to this pandemic and social distancing, since the first couple of months was cute, like I was living for my personal space. But as we are approaching a year of being like this, I didn't realize how much this has taken a toll on my mental health to the point now, just to be honest, I am not suicidal. I haven't been suicidal. I haven't had suicidal ideations in a while. But I have been really, 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 really depressed. And it really hit me. I think I was depressed all of January because I was sick, dealing with sinus issues and the different ailments that I was going through. But particularly the last week of January, I was under a lot of stress, and I think that contributed to my depression. And then the beginning of February, I was depressed to the point where I was waking up multiple days, and I would get a full night's rest, but I didn't want to get out of bed, and to be honest, girl, I just did not think we would be here a year later, and it's kind of like I want to get back to my life. I want to be the person that I know that I can be, but to also know that there's so much uncertainty, and a year later, we're not in any better situation that we were in last year, and it's really scary. It really makes me feel sad at times, and I wouldn't describe myself as an extrovert. Like I can be social, like I can, like if I really know you or we really have camaraderie, I can be really extroverted. But for the most part, I'm really introverted. But I am a girl. I love to travel and I love to go to different places to be around the culture and to be around the things and just to see how culture is just disrupted because people can't just be out and be in open spaces with each other. This is also the corona has also affected how I dated and it's shifted a lot of things. So knowing that I can no longer date, knowing that I can no longer casually hook up the way that I once did in a way that brought me joy because I had to consider so many other things. Bitch, I was depressed. I was depressed and I I made an appointment to see a psychiatrist to get a diagnosis. And it just happened that my appointment was last week. Shout out to Howard University Hospital, HBCUs. And I was able to see a doctor and I was able to get a diagnosis. I was diagnosed with a major recurrent depression, which it makes sense to me because when I get depressed, when I get in those moods, like it'll come or I can feel it coming. But then by the time I want to do something about it, that feeling goes away and I'm back to myself. So to know that I have this diagnosis, and particularly in this time that we're in right now, and now I have access to medication and counseling and therapy services, that makes me feel better. I also have started taking vitamin D3, which is something you can buy at any store, and that kind of compensates for the lack of sunlight from being in the house and not being outside. But I think like the last episode, I talked about how another unintended consequence of being quarantined is I gained so much weight so fast, and that it caused me being pre-diabetic and having early symptoms of diabetes, and how I've had to make this lifestyle change of exercising and eating different and not drinking anything sweet. But bitch, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still depressed, bitch. Like, I'm still depressed, and I'm just trying to push through. I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to be positive. But girl, this is too much, bitch. This is too much. But I am fortunate that we have this platform where we're able to create community and we can talk to you all. And I know our voices and our show is hope for people. I know people need it every week. They wait for us to do the show. So that makes me happy and it gives me something to look forward to. But I do really look forward to a day where we can just come out and be public with each other and just to be amongst the people, to just be one of the people. So that's where I'm at. I, a bit just struggling. I'm not fixed. I'm not cured. This is a lifelong diagnosis, but I'm fighting like hell to do little things to make me happy and to ease any mental tension that I have, because we have to be in this for the long haul. Sis, what is your update?
Well, first, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the bravery in you sharing your diagnosis with the public. I've been very vulnerable on here about my battle with depression, major depression and anxiety. I have panic disorder, and I suffer from PTSD and a myriad of other different things. And to the point where I am under psychiatric care. And Brianna and I are both very, very vulnerable about that because it is near and dear to our heart that as a community, we put more emphasis on that self-care. You know how that meme online that says check on your strong friend? It's time to really check on your strong friend because it is hard as fuck to one live in a world already that has all these oppressions and all of these things that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And then as your strategy of survival, you found these little nuggets of joy in your day-to-day life. Whether it is for me going to the gym and I know Brianna is a lover of music, of live performances. I know you to be someone that enjoys, even though my sister is an introvert, bitch, we live for people watching. You know what I'm saying? We live
Right.
amongst culture. You're someone that vibrates with the beat of the room. You're a girl that occasionally likes to give a hand. And I know that those are things that brought you joy in what otherwise could be a Blair bleak world. And that's just being black and trans. So I want to take a moment before I just go into my day to just take a moment and thank you for your bravery because I'm getting emotional because I know what it is to live in a world where you're trying to find out just like the little things to make your day okay. And then in this climate where we've had to even battle all of this time, that's been taking away our energy, right? Like we've been focused on this election, focused on trying to talk about why Ruth Bader Ginsburg was important. Now she's gone. Now all of these things have happened, and it's like the culmination of it is we've never had an opportunity to really process the fact that you and I both are cut off from the world, cut off from each other. And we have had to be forced to be in this society where the tactile sensation of human connection is lost. And as a result, people's mental, physical, and spiritual well-being is happening. Add to that the collective human grief that we all share from losing so many people, just
Right.
not even being able to turn on the computer and not seeing our loved ones, our sisters losing their mothers, our loved ones just completely leaving this earth. This was a horrible ass, traumatic ass year that we experienced in 2020. And now in 2021, we are going to be a little shell shocked. I think we all are going to be a little depressed. We're all going to be I have a little PTSD. And I know for our listeners out there, you may actually be having those suicidal ideations. And we want you to know that there are places where you can get help. We want you to know that you need to be contacting suicide hotlines. We want you to know that here at Box Number 512 Podcast, Grown Black Trans Woman Talk, we are advocates for mental health and we stand with you as survivors of what are going to be lifelong conditions. And I want to applaud you, Brianna, also for having the courage to go and seek that help, and to now to take this and use it as a badge of your strength, because at this point you've done what a lot of people haven't, which is do the step to diagnose what is wrong. We can treat once we know what is wrong. And part of people's healing process needs to be able to take that couraging, that really, really brave step of going to the doctor and saying, I am having a problem. These are my symptoms. And just sometimes even getting that diagnosis can just take a load off your shoulders, because at least now I know I'm not crazy. There is
Right.
something wrong.
Right.
So congratulations to you on that. And as far as my week is concerned, it's been very, very hectic. A lot of my just putting out small fires in my personal life, not necessarily family related, just a lot of girlfriend shit, just trying to be there for people in my life. It's been a lot, and it's been very, very stressful for me. But like Brianna said, um, I have to remember that it is my responsibility to put the oxygen mask on myself before I try to put the oxygen mask on someone else. Because you can't save nobody if you're dead. And it's just dawning on me that as you were talking about that, Brianna, I have never really sat down. Like, I cry every day. And that's something I've gotten so used to doing that it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, girl, that's just life. Like having a fallout. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but I never used to be that way. And while I know that I'm still seeing my psychiatrist and I've shared that with him, and we're adjusting dosages, it's still something like I've gotten so used to being affected by it in a constant state of grief and stress and anxiety that it just almost seems normal. So thank you for also helping me to remember in myself that I gotta take a moment and take a breath, and I need it this week too. So thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm debating. So I'm off on Monday for President's Day, so I'm debating on whether to do another one of my staycations.
Yeah.
Just to
Vacation.
treat myself. Just to treat myself. Just to treat myself. And girl, it's just girl. I didn't think this year was gonna be like one, not being able to see my mom because my mom is working and she works in the hospital, so not being able to see her, how I went to. And like I think the social aspect is getting to me because I'm new to the DC area in this professional way. I was expecting to like go to mixers and meet other lawyers and become a part of organizations, and to know that just everything is virtual. It's just like, girl, this year is all bitches. It'll be September again, and that's what my
I
husband.
didn't think about this too. You just did a major life change, uprooted from your social support system that you had been
Right,
in Chicago, the friends that you had that you could be like, girl, let me come over and get a meal or let me hang with.
right,
Like, you can't do that now. Oh my God, I just thought about that. Even though you're from the Baltimore DMV area, you are disconnected and alone in a new city, and you haven't had a chance to even connect with your coworkers. So of course
right.
that's gonna tear your mind down, sis. I now that I'm
Right. I haven't been able to see my coworkers in person. I haven't been able to like really tap into like the Black Washington DC legal community like I was in Chicago. And like, girl, nothing beats being able to be in person and just to feel the energy of the room, and then have the people gag because I'm in the room. But then once they get to know me, their guards are let down, and then I can, have a contact or something. So, girl, it's just like, and then with me still on this job search for my next position after this job is so much more uncertainty, and I think I
in an
was letting
uncertain
it.
world.
Right. I think I was letting it get the like, even though realistically it's like, girl, you got till September. Like, you will find something between now and September. But on the flip side, it's like, yeah, but it's not the same setup, or it's not the same like I'm gonna have to work a little hard. So but I'm the type of person that I'm very impulsive, and sometimes I can think about something and think about it so much that I tire myself out. So I think that was getting the best of me. It's just, these are hard times to be living in right now. So every day I'm just trying to learn to be easy on myself and be patient on myself, and just take everything day by day. Even with my job, when I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm messing up. Every time I talk to my supervisor, he is cool as a cucumber. Or he'd be like, you know what, I didn't even tell you to do this, or I forgot to tell you. So it's never a big deal as I'm making it out in my head, but it's just, whew, girl, it's a lot.
Because
It's
it's
a
all
lot.
that anxiety too. And you know, like, what people also don't realize is anxiety can mask itself as depression. The pressures just of like you said, this uncertainty. And that comes into like this fear of doom and gloom. And in your body, and especially when you're not in a place where you have really, especially when you have people telling you, oh, you're like.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Box Number 512 Podcast, Grown Black Trans Women Talk.
And don't forget to become a patron on the Box Number 512 Patreon page, where we have all new exclusive content.
And also, don't forget to follow us on our social media, on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages. And also, become a subscriber on our YouTube page. Until next time, bye.